I actually, 20 years ago, I was in the Blinn College band and we marched in the Austin County Fair. So that's one of the things I really remember is that parade. But it's I've been to that fair many times. It's a fun time. So encourage all y'all to go. Y'all have the chance. My name is Will Watson. I'm with Infintech. I had a PowerPoint presentation to show you, but obviously there's nothing behind me, so just kind of use your imagination. Some of this is kind of banking stuff, so I'm going to try to keep it not boring and make you fall asleep. I know it's early in the morning. If you have questions, feel free to ask me after the talk. But I'm going to kind of explain to you who or what is Infintech, what do we do, who are we, where do we come from, about our partnership with the Sealy Chamber of Commerce. So we have a partnership with the Sealy Chamber. Did any of you know that we were partnered with the Sealy Chamber? So we got one. Two, good. So I want to tell you about that partnership. We do credit card processing. So I call it the necessary evil of running a business. Unfortunately, you have to take credit cards if you're running a business now because most people carry cards in their wallets. They don't carry cash anymore, especially the millennials, no cash. Understanding credit card processing fees. So if you're a business owner or an office manager and you're getting that monthly statement every month, you have really no idea most of the time what that statement means, what the fees mean, and I'm going to kind of explain to you what those fees are on a credit card statement. I had one to show you to kind of break it down, but you'll just have to kind of use your imagination on that. Some different things we do than our competitors. It's called level 2, 3, and large ticket processing. I'll explain that a little bit. Customer Insights program, what that is, and how do I get started. So first off, who or what is Infintech? Like I said, we are a credit card processing company. So all we do is process credit card and debit card payments. That's all we do. That's all we want to do. That way we can be an expert in that industry. Most banks, they're doing mortgages, car loans, personal loans. Credit card processing, something they offer, but all we do is that. So we're an expert in it. We know pretty much all the answers when it comes to credit card processing, and if we can't find it, we'll get it for you. To kind of explain who we are and how we came about, our corporate office is in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm here in Texas. I live about an hour and a half from here in Angleton. My parents live in Brenham, so I'm in this area a lot. My dad's a history professor at Blinn College, and he's been there for ages until he goes. He's going to be at Blinn College teaching history. And that's the way he wants it. So I'm in this area all the time. Our corporate office, like I said, is in Cincinnati, Ohio. And the way we were founded was by our CEO, Ryan Rybolt, and our COO, Tom DeBoard. They were working at Fifth Third Bank up in Ohio, and all they did was credit card processing, and they would go after big national accounts. That's all they did. They ran the rat race every day, going after big national accounts. And after years and years of doing this, they were like, why don't we go after medium and small sized businesses and give them the same pricing and the same customer service that these big national guys get? So they started Infintech in 2005 for that focus, to go after the medium and small sized business, give them the same pricing, the same level of customer service that the big guys get. Infintech stands for Innovative Financial Technologies. How they came up with that name, I really don't know, but that's what it stands for, because most people go, it's a weird name. So that way you know what it stands for. We focus on medium and small sized businesses. We process for over 7,000 clients. Our motto is we want to continue to grow, but we don't want to get so big that we lose that level of customer service. We process for many types of businesses. We have clients that process on their mobile phone that do a trade show every weekend, and we have probably our biggest client, who is Gibson Guitar in Nashville, Tennessee, who processes millions of dollars a month. So we service every type of business. Now I want to tell you a little bit about our partnership with the Sealy Chamber, and this is the big thing. This is what we do. We partner with different chambers of commerce and state associations to bring a member benefit to those members. So Sealy has partnered with us, Tammy at the chamber, Peggy at the chamber, to bring us to you to offer credit card processing as a member benefit. So most business owners are kind of on their own when it comes to finding who to process their payments with. They go through your local bank, some guy walking in the door, look at it on the internet, you see it on TV, Square, you see Square a lot on TV, that's a popular option. You're really kind of on your own. You know, you might go through your software at your business. So you really don't know what you're getting into. Well, Sealy has partnered with us to bring a trusted source to process your payments. In turn, what we do is we give a percentage back to the chamber. So right now, if you're processing your payments with, say, Heartland, that's a popular processor. Heartland is getting all the fees every month. What we do at Infintech is we give 10% back to the chamber, to the Sealy chamber, and which helps the local business community. So that's kind of how our partnership works. It helps you as a member to get lower processing fees, and it also helps the local community as well. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, good. Either I'm boring you or I'm doing a good job, one or the other. So this is kind of the meat of how we understand our processing fees. Is there anybody in here that gets a processing statement every month or sees one and understands what it means? Is there anyone that gets one? Okay. So when we as a consumer go to a business and we hand them our card, that fee is going to 3 places. Or if we're a business owner and we're taking a card, we're paying 3 places fees. Most consumers don't know that, and before I even got into this business years ago, I didn't even know merchants paid a lot of fees for credit cards. I thought that was just part of, being in business. So the fees go to 3 places. Number one is called interchange fees, and that's about 60 to 70% of the total fees that a business is charged every month. So interchange fees is set by the banks, so the card issuing bank. So if you have a card in your wallet, Chase, Wells Fargo, your local bank, when you swipe that card at a business, the banks are getting about 60 to 70% of that money back. So that's why the banks want you using their cards, because they're actually getting that money back. So Infintech, the processing company, is not making all the fees that a business is charged every month. Most of it's actually going back to the card issuing banks. So that's the first and number one thing where one of the fees is going. The second is called dues and assessments. So dues and assessments is paid to the card networks. So the card networks is Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. So they're getting dues and assessments, which is about 10% of the total fees you're charged every month. So anytime a Visa card is swiped anywhere in the United States, Visa's getting a little bit of money from that card. So you imagine how that adds up real quick. And then the third part is the processor fee. This is what you as a business owner can control, is the processor fee charged by the processor. So Infintech, we are the processor. We set a processing fee for you to be able to accept payments, and you as the merchant can actually control this fee of how much you're charged every month. Now, granted, we have to keep the lights on, pay the bills, support our families. So there's, in my industry, I call it everybody's in a race to zero, and we're all going to put each other out of business because everybody's in a race to zero. So there's got to be some pricing there to where you can pay the bills and support your family. But that's what you as a merchant can control, is the processing fee from your processor. Hidden fees is a big thing in our industry. Where do these hidden fees come in? In the dues and assessments we talked about, there's a set dues and assessment fee. A lot of processors will mark those dues and assessments up for extra profit. And most merchants don't know that that's happening. That's where we can come in, look at a statement, see how you're processing your cards, and see if your current processor is doing that to you. Does anybody have a question on how that part of processing works, or the different types of fees? Okay.
Does it work on debit and credit cards, or just credit?
Debit and credit, right. So for example, for a debit card, which most of us have, the interchange fee is 0.05%. Whereas a credit card, the interchange fee is average 1.4 to 1.5%. So that's a big difference that a business is paying if they're taking a debit card versus a credit card.
How does this come back like on the consumer? Like if I use my credit card, does the business do we get charged for that, or
No.
does that work?
So most of us have debit cards, and if we have credit cards, they have like rewards or cash back. Actually, the credit cards with the rewards and cash back are going to be a higher percentage rate. So the business is actually paying for that, for us to get our rewards and cash back. That's just part of doing business. That's why a lot of them, you see a lot of businesses now, they want you to pay with the debit cards. They'll give you a little discount if you pay with the debit card because the charges are a lot less.
Hey, Will, just on the debit and credit card difference, so my Chase Bank card, it's got the Visa logo on it. So is it difference in the fee if I swipe it as a debit or a credit, or does it matter on that particular card?
So like if your Chase card has the debit logo on it, no matter how you swipe it, if you swipe it or you pin it in, it's pretty much the same interchange rate. The only thing is if you do a PIN debit where you type in your PIN number, the business is not charged the dues and assessments we talked about. So it's a little bit cheaper if you do it with the PIN. For the consumer, there's no difference. Sometimes if you do PIN, it comes out of your account automatically. Like with gas stations, if you do the PIN, it's going to come out automatically. Well, sometimes you'll see it hang up for a couple of days. I always do PIN at a gas station, so it comes out automatically, so I can make sure my wife is spending correctly. But she's not here. But yeah, for the consumer, there's no difference. But for the business, with a debit card, if they do the PIN, it's going to cost them a little bit less. It used to be a bigger difference, but that's really shrunk in the past few years. So if it's a debit card, but now if it's a credit card, then the rate's going to be higher than a debit.
Some businesses actually discount for using debit or
Right.
like specs or
Right.
like that. So.
Right, because like your Chase debit card, that rate is 0.05%, the interchange rate, versus say you walk in with an American Express, that could be 2.89%. So there's a big difference there.
So if there's a $2 processing fee added to a purchase, is that literally the processor fee category, that 20%?
So are you talking about like the total fee would be $2? So
Like if I walk into a place and I'm paying $100, say, for membership, and they say if you charge it, there's a $2 fee, is that probably the processor fee?
that's probably all three
Okay.
combined. And a lot of business owners don't know about the three different ones because they're just not, they're not educated. It's technically illegal in the state of Texas to charge a processing fee as a business. If they have on their sign, we charge a percentage processing fee, that's technically illegal. You're not supposed to do that. Now, a lot of them do. You call it a convenience fee, but if you go walk into a retail shop and they have on their door, we charge a 4% processing fee, they're not supposed to do that. And if Visa or MasterCard catches them, they can be fined a lot of money.
So convenience fee is the proper wording.
Convenience fee. And I usually tell, people to just have a set convenience fee, like $2.50, $5, don't do a percentage of it, to just kind of make sure you're okay. And real quick, to kind of wrap it up, I want to tell you about level 2, 3, and large ticket processing. So this is what we kind of specialize in. It's called business to business processing. So if you're a business taking payments from other businesses, we can actually lower that interchange rate that we talked about by setting you up on level 2, 3, and large ticket processing. So for an example, if you're a business and you take a payment from another business, just a regular Visa business card, that rate can be 2.6%. If you're set up to get level 2, level 3, and large ticket savings, and you process that payment through Infintech on our system, that rate can be as low as 1.45% on a business card. So that's a big drop on a payment, and most business to business payments are bigger transactions. And then real quick, we have a customer insights program. So we can actually take the data that's processed, and you can actually see where your customers are coming from. So for example, if you're a retail bike shop and you're taking payments all week, you can see what part of the city your customers are coming from, where your weekend customers coming from. So you could actually use those efforts for marketing, to better your marketing efforts. So that's something that we offer as well. And to wrap it up, how do you get started? Just contact me, contact Tammy at the chamber. If you're interested, we do a free cost savings analysis for your business, no obligation, to kind of show you savings that can be involved. We have several clients in the area. The Dodge and Ryan Dodge and Ford are clients of ours in the area. Several other small businesses in the area. We actually just got one down the road, down I-10, going towards Columbus. And they are doing level 2, 3 and large ticket processing that we talked about. They were not doing it. They were just processing the old-fashioned way. They saved $15,000 a year by switching to the level 2, 3 and large ticket savings. So it does take advantage to look into it. So thanks for letting me come and talk today. Is there any questions or?